Welcome back, dear friend, to the land where stories are told. In the center of this tale, a madness seems to have taken hold. A cat sporting a hat is the focus this time, but maybe not the usual one that comes to mind. Let us bear witness and see if this particular feline will ride victorious or simply flee. The initial choice is tough for our tea-loving friend. It is unlikely that this Cinderella follows us to the end. Dear grandmother's forces posed an equal threat, so it's back to the drafting board to see what we can get. More cats in the near future seems to be the order of the day. A misstep with spells leads us slightly astray. Now, despite the error, the Pied Piper is no match. It isn't only fish and mice that these crazy cats can catch. Now, Fanny makes an appearance, and then once again. A plan for the future is developing with this helpful friend. Now, though cats and vamps both have fangs, Dracula is not an ally. A team of cats and dwarves seem to have trouble clipping things that fly. Now, despite the setback, we march on undeterred. We'll see at the end who gets the final word. The earlier lock means a second Fanny joins the fray. And since we have a couple cats, let's pick up a chicken despite it being prey. A fearsome dragon appears with an icy greeting. However, its own spell was its doom, quickly ending this meeting. Another dwarf joins the battle, supported by two friends. A hand and possibly some coins Lucky is happy to lend. The towering giant looms over the brawl, and in the end, for the dwarves at least, it proved to be an insurmountable wall. Here's where old friends begin to depart, but new ones step up to play their part. Dwarves and dwarves swell the ranks. Tweedledum and Tweedledee, with the slate of their minds unsurprisingly blank. And on to battle, Arthur's enemy has now become our own. The beasts arrayed before us, however, were quite simply dropped like a stone. An awkward choice to choose, only greedy fits the team, but the hint of gold shines with a gleam. Lucky takes a rest, replaced by a mortal sin and a clock. Only time will tell if this maneuver was pressing the cat's luck. Santa's mirror now threatens, casting a long and dark shadow. Ultimately, the stout dwarves shrug it off and strike a mighty blow. From support to dinner, the golden chicken went. A princess took up her station, but it appears her soul is spent. On her companions' deaths, she would feed. More dwarves as morsels is what she needs. Granny reappeared, but only to the slaughter. The ghastly creature that consumes dwarves is clearly not her granddaughter. Crafty has been busy making toys, trinkets, and machines. All the while, our princess continues her schemes. Bossy joins the team, but apparently without any dismay that a dark future awaits dwarves who walk this way. A hold is placed, so doubly will remain. But now make haste and on to battle. We must put an end to the Piper's annoying prattle. Although the Bard had called many to his side, the Piper stands no chance against a team with butts this enormously wide. Seeing Double Doubly, Tiny takes his leave. Others still need to go, and after some re-rolls, so does Greed. A second Bossy ensures that the soulless princess completes her quest. Ever stronger, ever faster, despite no heart beating in her chest. The Ring of Rage is the first bauble on the cat's side. The dwarves are big, the princess hungry, and looking to avail her needs on someone's hide. The former threat now reduced to a mere annoyance. The victory was assured and required no clairvoyance. The end is in sight, but there are still more brawls to be won. A third Tweedledee and some lightning bolts to ensure the cat's enemies are undone. A reptilian monster roars and thrashes, threatening an untimely death. The dwarves and their princess have other ideas, and seemingly their own potent breath. Fanny joins with her two other sisters to provide a spinning wheel. Bossy felt left out, and upgrading himself made this market trip quite a deal. Not to be outdone, Doubly upgraded twice as much as any other dwarf. From large to gigantic did they metamorph. Mordred tried and failed, despite huffs and puffs. In the end, the dwarves were simply made of sterner stuff. At even this late an hour, Crafty was still working, and what a magnificent redesign. Through his trials and tribulations, he offered up a dwarven mine. The stage was set, the actors in place, all the props for the show. The princess whispered as the battle started, "Now lock the doors, so there's nowhere for them to go." Belle stood before the princess and her thralls, but it was not long before the dwarves and undead smeared them on the walls. As royalty, it is only fitting to knight a loyal subject. Doubly graciously accepted this gift, promotion, one could not reject. Granny had suddenly grown quite hairy and fangs that rival even ours. Even this massive change matters not to someone who has reached our level of power. A hasty retreat bought Granny a short reprieve. Battle will be joined, and the game decided on this very eve. Lightning bolts and spare forces were called to the cause. The grand finale was starting, and one can only gaze on in awe. The cat and the wolf, a seemingly unfair fight. It seemed at first that the canine could even put this right. In the end, it was the wolf that was left pushing up just a single daisy. It is folly to underestimate someone who labels themselves crazy.